A lot of people like to say that a horror movie during Christmas is a stupid idea. Well, I say that's stupid because they don't give you any reason why. And you're probably like, well, what's the reason why a horror movie should be based on Christmas? I'll give you a reason. First of all, there's only one reason. Here's the reason. All your basic securities are down to the ground. You have no reason to fear. It's Christmas time. So basically, you have nothing to fear. Until now. Featuring today's feature, Krampus. An okay film that really is not a good horror film. Honestly, I actually like it, but as a horror film, I find it really stupid, and I think you'll understand why when you watch this. So, let's begin, shall we? As the credits roll, you basically get to see people trampling over each other and kicking their shit out of each other on a Black Friday sale. Oh yeah, I forgot. The film doesn't take place on Christmas. It takes place near Christmas. So it's technically not even a Christmas film. Like, are you kidding me? So it's kind of awkward that you get to see these things going by you. Like, you wouldn't even notice that it's a horror film. Like, if you walked in here now, but like, well, it's the opening, so if you sat there, you would not even know it was a horror film. More like a really bad Adam Sandler film. We're finally introduced to today's victims of the film. We got a mom who looks really old, a father who looks really young, a teenage daughter who has a boyfriend, and the main character who I don't know his name, so we'll call him Boy 1. Boy 1 looks like the main character from Zombieland. I mean, it's really obvious. Like, I mean, you can totally tell by the bruises that his mother gives him. And then the grandma, who basically speaks German most of the time, but for some reason, Boy 1 understands. Which is weird because you would think a boy who would be abused by his mother wouldn't even get to see the sunlight when he's stuck in the basement. Like, what the fuck? So everything's peachy keen usually all the time, but today is a bad day because their cousins are coming over, which go and drive around in a giant monster truck and have guns in the back seat because they're rednecks, so that's really good. Their family consists of a redneck girl, 2 boys. One of them's a girl, but I'm not sure if that's even a girl. I think it's a boy, and a girl who's clearly a girl. And they're a bunch of assholes. And then you got this weird aunt character who's a sassy black lady. But you can clearly tell she's not black because, if you look at her arm and really everywhere, she's white.
Looks like Martha Stewart threw up in here.
Well, everyone sits at the dinner table while also making fun of each other because that's what relatives do. Sadly, however, Boy 1's being bullied the most. You see here, Boy 1 has one weakness. He believes in Santa Claus, and the girl from the 2 sisters, or I don't even know that's a sister, steals his letter from Santa and reads it out loud to the whole family.
I know I haven't been great this year, and I'm sorry for that, but I was really hoping you could help out me and my family this Christmas. I wish my mom and dad could fall in love again. I know they get upset a lot with dad away from home so much. I think they really just miss each other.
And basically they have a really awkward fight. Like, if you actually closed your eyes and didn't see the scene, it's like the most violent thing you've ever heard.
Hey, Max. Hey!
Boy 1 is then sent up to his room thinking about Zombieland when he grows up. All of a sudden, his father comes in and says, "Listen, boy, having family members that bother you is very natural. You just gotta deal with them." And then he just goes away. And that's it. So then all of a sudden, Boy 1 decides to rip up his list and throw it out the window. Because that was a great idea. Littering is illegal, you fag. After that dramatic scene, a giant storm cloud goes over their house and knocks all the power out in the whole neighborhood, basically the whole town. And basically now they're stranded in the middle of a snowstorm, and no one can get in or out. That is, unless you count the UPS man who delivers the gifts.
Wow. Honey, stuff to carry. Some weather, huh?
Yeah, it's a ghost town out there.
Nor matter rain nor shine, no asinine horror film. I'm delivering these presents because I'm the UPS man. Have a fun day dying, you bitch. Toodaloo. So boy one's sister wants to go find her boyfriend because it's such a good idea to go out in the middle of a blizzard. So her parents are so stupid and let her go. As she goes on her merry way, for some reason the lights dim and it turns to nighttime. Then she gets to see the monstrosity, Krampus.
Oh, there it is. There it is, everything.
Boy one's sister hides underneath a pest control truck and Krampus just doesn't see. However, he poops out a nice jack-in-a-box, which for some reason kills her, which is my favorite. However, her scream really bothers me, it really hurts. So everyone sits around the fire, not noticing the amount of snowman being built, and not noticing how the lights dimmed from outside to a really weird, darkish night. They basically just sit around, they're like, oh, what a wonderful year. Kill me. And the aunt just still acts like a bitch, so it's not like it's ever interesting the family. But then all of a sudden, mischievous mysteries have been happening. Like banging on the roof, something's walking, squirrels playing with their nuts. That's actually something in the film, folks.
Squirrels.
Right. Probably playing with their nuts.
The redneck father and the regular father of Boy One decide to try to find Boy One's sister. So they go out in the middle of the snow and basically find a broken truck. And they go in someone's house. And basically all they see is just death everywhere, and they see the footprints of their culprit, which they're very baffled by. So they hear the scream of girl one's sister, but all of a sudden they're attacked by a giant land shark out of nowhere. Yeah, it's a giant land shark. I mean, maybe it's a groundhog, but I like land shark better than groundhog. I mean, it's not even, groundhogs hibernate. I mean, land sharks, that's like the first Christmas land shark ever. That's the coolest. So they get out unscathed and, you know, they barricade the windows and they basically huddle up together. All of a sudden, they then take a really long nap and basically sleep out through the long night. All of a sudden, Krampus brings a metal chain hook down the chimney with a gingerbread man stuck to it. The big fat boy then eats the gingerbread man, then is sucked up the chimney, then is dead. Also, another thing, there's a lot of sound effects in the film, like cartoon sound effects. There's plenty of more, and the biggest sound effect in the whole film is the baby. The baby is like the biggest sound effect maker ever. The baby is literally only used to make sound effects. But the cartoon sound effects are actually a really good touch. Have a listen. So then Grandma gets the button and talk English for once, and then tells a story about how she met this really scary looking monster known as Krampus. And he only comes to teach the family a lesson about caring about Christmas and Christianity and licking the toes of Jesus because he died on the cross. And she's the only victim to know of Krampus's reign. And of course no one believes her, everyone thinks she's crazy.
Here I thought I was the one losing it. What? You believe this senile horse shit?
So the redneck girl then gets captured by the giant Jack-in-the-Box character, and the parents go upstairs to try to shoot it, and all of a sudden they're getting bombarded by toys. Meanwhile, on the bottom, the redneck father gets attacked by the cutest gingerbread cookies. And I'm seriously wondering if this is really a horror film. Why are gingerbread cookies that scary? This is like Gremlins, what the fuck? So they finally defeat all the toys and find the Jack-in-the-Box snake thing, and they try to kill it. But all of a sudden, a bunch of elves with masks on come out of nowhere and break through the window. They try to steal the baby and the black white lady with sound effects. All of a sudden, they leave because they hear a howl, and they basically have a plan to run in the middle of the snow and get that big tow truck they found earlier, or that garbage truck, I don't know. So they go outside, and Grandma sacrifices herself to fight Krampus. And once you finally see Krampus, it's actually kind of interesting because, well, the puppetry and animatronics are really cool. Like, it kind of looks realistic. But the hooves, man, I don't even know how this thing walks. What the Well, and so then Grandma gets to see the monster wearing a Santa Claus mask, and for some reason I think Krampus tries to give her toys, or kills her. I don't really know, because like the toys get all mouthy looking. So the parents and everyone else, the survivors, walk in the middle of the snow, and the land shark comes back and kills everybody except the two kids, boy 1 and the girl who survived the attack. So all of a sudden an elf comes in and bothers them. They can't start the car up. For some reason the elf is already killed by the land shark, which there's a reason for that. So all of a sudden, basically, boy 1 then finds the scientist's sister and the other redneck sister being pushed into a giant pit of hell, and basically is like, oh look, it's Krampus and a bunch of elves at the fair. I don't know why I put that accent there. It's really stupid. So Krampus basically doesn't kill him because he made the wish and basically leaves him alone. But boy 1 decides to actually sacrifice himself for his family's freedom, and Krampus looks like he's gonna do it. But of course, Krampus is a dick, so he throws his redneck cousin down the hellhole and then throws him down the hellhole. And it's actually kind of funny because it's clearly a green screen, and I wish this kid broke his neck or something. So all of a sudden, he wakes up in his bed and he runs downstairs to open presents with his cousins, and he gets a present of Krampus's bell, and then it just ends like that. But before it ends, a scary scream attack comes in. Have a look, it's just really genius. So that was Krampus, and to be honest, it's not a really bad movie. That is, if you're looking at it as a horror movie. It's a fun movie to watch and sit with your friends if you want to find something stupid. But otherwise, it's a really bad horror film, and it's just not even really entertaining or scary. It's like all cartoony. Like, what were they thinking when they were putting those cartoon sound effects and those gingerbread cookies in the film? Like, what the fuck? So yeah, I suggest you buy this film for yourself. Although it's not a great horror film, it's a good film for people who don't like to watch horror films, like my tennis instructor. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Remember to like that, just subscribe, and of course, this is all in fair use, and remember, at least I tried. I'm not the best. See you later.